Yeah, for upholding peace in our nation. We appreciate you. Yeah, police officers.
We, the Zambia Police Service, shall uphold professionalism.
Hello and welcome to Arrive Alive program with me, your host, Womba Weyeke. You may wish to know that April is deemed to be Distracted Driving Awareness Month, and on our topic today, we are discussing distracted driving awareness. I am joined in the studio by Mr. Sidney Mbewe, who's the Chief Executive Officer for Public Passenger Transport Cooperative. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much, Womba, for inviting me for this important discussion. And how are you, viewers?
Okay, You're welcome. Mr. Mbewe, what is distracted driving all about, and why is it a pressing issue in our country today?
When we talk about distracted driving, we're talking about a person who is in charge of a motor vehicle, who is not concentrating on the driving. One of the basic rules of driving is concentrate on your driving all the time. It does not give you even a minute. It tells you to concentrate on your driving all the time. So it is important that we bring awareness to people that are in charge of motor vehicles, because this is a source of worry where we are losing a lot of lives because of the carelessness that people maybe are not concentrating on the driving, and they are distracted by other things that are happening within the cabin of their vehicle.
Why is it a pressing issue in our country currently?
Currently, it's a pressing issue because noticeably it has become a culture for people to engage in other activities other than driving. You'll find people eating while they're driving. You'll find people trying to text other people while they're driving. You'll find people holding the headsets while they're driving. You'll find people watching even a movie while they're driving. So this has in itself recorded a number of loss of lives on our roads. So it's a very, very big concern that we should start talking about it and bring awareness on the dangers of being distracted when you're driving.
All right. So how does a distracted driving impact road safety in Zambia?
Any driver that does not concentrate on driving becomes a danger to other road users and himself or herself. If you are reaching a pedestrian crossing and you are not concentrating on your driving, chances of you knocking down somebody at a pedestrian crossing who deems or assumes that you have seen them and assumes that you are going to stop because it's mandated by law or in your schooling as a driver that anytime that you are reaching a pedestrian crossing, you are mandated to stop, even when there are no people, but even just to observe whether there's someone that is going to cross. So in an era where we don't have control signs that are going to give the motorist a go and the pedestrian a go, it becomes even more of a danger that people are being knocked down while crossing a pedestrian crossing. So it is becoming more and more of a subject that we should talk about.
Okay. So how is your organization collaborating with the Zambia Road Safety Trust in reducing distracted driving?
We are part of the Arrive Alive campaign, and we joined the campaign realizing that our sector has people that carry more lives in one vehicle at any given time. And if we do not talk about awareness of distracted driving with our members, one bus can lose as much as 16 lives and can lose as much as 72 lives. So it is important that as an organization, we talk about this. So the collaboration between our organization and the Road Safety Trust is quite close, and we work to ensure that this campaign is a success in the country.
All right. Mr. Mbewe, the viewers may wish to know what are the different types or the common types of distractions faced by drivers on the road.
There's a lot of distractions, but the most common one, I think, is our cell phones. This has risen a very big worry where I think we have had a shift in policy where it has been criminalized for you to have a handheld set while you are driving. And that is one of the major ones, especially when somebody is trying to text or respond to a text, because now they have to take their eyes off the road to look at what they are doing on their phone, which becomes a very, very big danger. So eating food while you are driving, you may be holding a pie and a piece of meat or potato drops off from the pie and you want to see where it has gone. That split second may cause you to live a life. We have gone as careless as people putting their cell phones on the dashboard and watching a movie while they are driving. That is distraction. You have drivers that have headphones covering them to hear what other people, there will be somebody that's hooting, for them that there's a danger, but they will not hear that person. So there's a lot of issues or a lot of sources of danger that we are practicing as motorists or people that are in charge of motor vehicles on our roads.
You have spoken about texting while it's driving, eating while it's driving, watching a movie. What about talking on the cell phone? Isn't that a distraction?
That is destructive. That's why I said waste of all. Just holding a phone in your hand is destructive because you may reach, we've seen people, we've heard of people or witnessed people that have, because of the news that comes on the phone while they are driving, they've collapsed while driving or fainted while driving. And these have ended up or resulting into them either hitting a tree, which would be lucky enough, or hitting into other people. So a cell phone itself, just operating a cell phone in any mode, whether you are texting, you are speaking, you are watching a movie, that in itself is a distraction.
Okay. All right. So there are some common misconceptions people have about destructive driving, and how can we change these attitudes?
Yeah, there is a misconception that amongst most motorists, because a lot of people on the road now are driving, have taken it that they are too professional in the driving, maybe because they've been driving for too long, or because it has become fashionable for them just to look at it that when they are behind the wheel, they are already a professional. There's nothing about driving becomes a learning process every day that you're on the road, because driving itself is dynamic. When the motor vehicle population goes up, it means the parameters under which you were driving 5 years ago have changed. When the population of people go up, the parameters under which you were driving 5 years ago change. When the road infrastructure changes, it means the parameters of the way you were driving 5 years ago. So you keep on changing. In that change, it means you keep on learning. So you cannot say you're coming from a driving school, you get a driver's license from RATSA, and you say, no, you are there. You have not arrived. You are still moving, and you have to learn and fit into the dynamics that come with safe road usage of everyone that has got a right to use roads as a public infrastructure.
Mr. Mbewe, we have seen people that drive with one hand while it's holding a cell phone in another hand, and they claim to have been driving for over 20 years. What is your word to such people? Because we get to hear that they are experienced enough.
Yeah, this is where I'm saying, you see, we get to a point where you feel you are too experienced. Driving has got no experience. You are a student. Every time you get into a car, you are a student. I've been driving myself for over 45 years, but I'm still a student. There's a lot of things that I'm learning on the road. Because when we were driving before, we didn't even fly over bridges. But now, 45 years along the line, we fly over bridges. The population was not that much. The motor vehicle population was not that much. So the dynamics then were not the dynamics now. So I'm not driving in that era. I'm driving into a new era, meaning that even my consciousness in terms of what I'm doing on the road also keeps on improving or changing with what is on the road. So we have seen people who deliberately even just do that, just wanting to. You are not taught, when you go for your driving, you are not taught to drive with one hand, or where you swivel your steering with one hand. We are taught to drive the vehicle with both hands at all times, because when one hand moves away to move your steering, it will be holding the steering at another point where the other hand again is moving. So at all times, when you are straight on, you are taught to keep your hands. So these are different trends that are coming in our societies that are being taken as a norm. It's normal. So that leaves a gap as to where the supervisors of who teach us how to drive, the question now becomes, where are they? Because they are supposed to ensure that we keep on driving in the manner that we've been taught.
Okay. So how effective are current laws and regulations on the road in reducing or curbing destructive driving? And in your view, do you think they need to be strengthened for us to reduce on the distracted driving?
Bomba, you cannot strengthen something that you are not utilizing. The laws that are there for me, in my own opinion, are adequate to curb the vices that we are talking about. I think what needs to be strengthened is the enforcement of those particular, because we have not identified areas where we have gaps to say, if we strengthen here, we have tried this, we have failed, but if we strengthen this law in this place, it will be able to give us better results. So I think it's not about the laws for me, it's about the enforcement. There are people that are mandated or tasked by law to ensure that they enforce these laws that are made for us to obey or to follow. Now, if there's no one to supervise or to ensure that there's enforcement of those laws, then we're not, going in the right direction. I remember when enforcement became a bit stringent, where people were captured the same day, taken to the fast court the same day, charged or imprisoned the same day. We saw a bit of discipline. But again, we created a bit of porousness within that system, where the fast court had started yielding results. So I think we need to identify where the problem is in terms of enforcement, and not the problem in terms of the laws that exist now. No one has come up to the date to say there are gaps in terms of us making these laws more effective.
Okay, does your organization have activities pertaining to reduction in distracted driving?
I would say yes or no, given the financial constraints of carrying out certain activities as an organization, which is also trying to build itself up in terms of bringing up this sanity within the public transport sector. We have then relied on partnerships with other organizations, like the one we have with the Road Safe Trust. These are the partners that we work with in terms of disseminating this information and awareness about the campaign that is being carried out.
Okay, so what role does technology and in-car systems play in either contributing or reducing to distracted driving?
I'm a very, very worried person, and I think a very upset person, in that when cell phones were developed, people realized that they had created a monster that would lead to losing lives. And they said, how do we intervene? And one of the things they did is to ensure that you do not need to handle your phone to answer a call. So digital transformation came into that system, the telecom system. So the headsets were invented, and you could connect your phone. But then they said, no, this is not enough. Can we just put a separation between the phone and the ears? They created the Bluetooth, where you can get your phone, answer your call without even touching your phone. Besides that, they said, no, we can go further. In your musical system, there's where you can pick up your call without disturbing your driving. So these are things that we do not want to use. This is what is upsetting. You can walk into any shop and buy a Bluetooth. You can walk into any shop Even on the streets as you are driving, you can buy headsets. If you do not have that custom-made vehicle that comes with the digital instruments that can make you answer your call while you are driving without even touching your phone. So we have these interventions that have been made to ensure that driving while you communicate is safe. But people with the same culture, you said that people say, no, I've been doing this for the past 10 years and nothing has happened to me, so I'm a professional. You see, when accidents happen, they happen in a split second. You don't see it coming. It comes like a bullet. You will never hear a bullet when it hits you. Just like an accident, you only maybe see the accidents when you are in the process of the results of the accident. So we are failing to adhere to certain things that are very, very simple to do so that we make all of us arrive alive.
All right. How can community initiatives or public awareness campaigns like Distracted Driving Awareness Month, like we are in April, drive real change in reducing driving accidents?
There's one thing that has come to all of us as organizations. The reading culture in this country is very, very poor. Even amongst the people that would call the most educated, the reading culture is very, you'll get, maybe you'll do flyers. They'll get the flyer, throw it in the car, and they'll never read what's there. So some of the important ones is to look at partnerships with the media, which are the most listened to media, which are the most viewed media. And also through these interactions, be able to show some of the consequences of what really happens on our roads. You can go into the community, do drama, and for sensitization. What people will come to do is just to enjoy the drama. If there's drumming, people dancing, that's what they will come for. Yeah, so I think getting more closer to the real situations of what happens when we neglect to do certain things. I think for me and the partners that we are working with, I think getting to work with the media to broadcast these issues so that people that are out there, if there's someone who's driving in the car, right now they should be listening to say, oh, if I touch my phone while I'm driving, there's a potential of me causing an accident or taking away somebody's life, including taking my own life. If we are on TV and we are able also to show some snips of accidents that have been caused by people that are using their cell phones or that have been distracted, either way they are eating, they are watching a movie, they want to text. We show the real scenarios, real to life scenarios where people have lost their lives and share statistics on how, because any one of those could be your next of kin. And any one of those again could be you. So I think the approach itself should be something that brings people to a real life realization of the dangers of being distracted while they are driving.
All right. What is your word of appeal to the drivers out there on distracted driving?
I think we are in a culture that is really like on the slope in terms of distraction while driving or being distracted while driving. I balance myself in maybe driving around and getting on public transport. You get on a bus and here's a driver that will be picking up a call. Meanwhile, he's again a DJ. He wants to select music on there. So he's double distracted. He wants to talk to someone on the phone and he wants to choose a song that he wants to listen to. So if we don't speak out to such drivers as commuters, then we are losing it. I think let's not leave it to the driver to expose our lives to danger. As commuters, one of my appeal would go to the commuters. Whenever you see something that endangers your life, speak out. If it's not being controlled, ask for the driver to stop and move out. Because you are preserving your life. It will not be good for you to say, we saw him, we saw him, he was on the phone. What did you do? We saw him, he was touching his stereo. What did you do? So anything that endangers your life, you should be able to speak out to them. To law enforcement, I think for me or for organizations that we're working with, I'm happy that we work with the Road Transport and Safety Agency and the Zambia Police in these initiatives that we do. But I think they need to take it back home as a take home. That, guys, we are not doing enough. We have these laws. Where are we finding problems with the laws that we have in order to curb these vices that are taking lives away from our society? So I feel that there needs to be a deliberate approach by the police to just invigorate and also be able to come out viciously on issues that have to do with road safety. Because you ignore one thing today, tomorrow you'll be the one that has a funeral at your house because someone was bashed by a car, by someone who was just enjoying a pie. And because they wanted to pick the piece of potato that dropped between their legs. Sad.
Well, viewers, we have come to the end of the program. We were discussing distracted driving awareness. Well, viewers, we have come to the end of the program where we're discussing distracted driving awareness. I had in the studio Mr. Sydney Mbewe, who's Chief Executive Officer from Public Passenger Transport Cooperative. From me, Womba Weke, and the entire production team, is bye-bye and pleasant viewing.
Police officers, yeah, for upholding peace in our nation. We appreciate you, yeah. Police officers, yes.
We, the Zambia Police Service, shall uphold professionalism.